Peace to the family was goody. It's your boy back with another episode. I'm your host Jody Wins. Welcome to the Jody Wins Show. We had some basketball last night, game 2 of the NBA Finals. We had a good weekend. You know what I mean? Hope y'all had a good weekend. You know, we back. This month, y'all, I'm projected to hit 100,000 views. You know what I mean? And that's good. I haven't told nobody. You know what I mean? Hey, follow, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I haven't did none of that. I just been posting content, and bro, I'm about to hit 100,000 views. So that's what's up. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We finna get it, y'all. We just gonna get bigger and better. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, let's get it. So after game 1 on Thursday, Hallie hit the game winner. You know, I ain't seen y'all since. You know what I mean? Hallie hit the game winner. Give the Pacers a 1-0 lead. Yesterday we had game 2. NBA Finals. OKC beat the brakes off niggas. 123 to 107. That nigga SGA had 34, 8, and 5. Alex Caruso had 20 off the bench. Jalen Williams had 19, 5, and 5. For the Pacers, Hallie had 17 and 6. Miles Turner had 16. Siakam had 15 and 7. That's not gonna get it done. You know, that's not gonna get it done, bro. SGA been cooking. You know, he been cooking. That nigga's nice, bro. That nigga's nice. Like, you know, it's crazy how he turned out. Nobody thought he would be this. You know what I mean? He was on nobody's radar when he first came. He was cool, but nobody thought he was gonna be this. Like, he's that nigga, bro. He get to the line, he get to his pot, he get to his spots, he get his shots off, bro. He be hitting, he be cooking. I think he figured out Indiana low key. They there's nothing they can do with him. Like, they should be up 2-0. You know, it should be OKC up 2-0. But they had the debacle in the first game where Indiana came back, you know, and won. But Indiana ain't finna keep coming back. You know what I mean? You can't keep coming back down 20. You ain't finna win, bro. Indiana been struggling. You know, nobody in Indiana has scored 20 points yet in the game. Game 2, it's 2 games so far. Nobody. I think Siakam had 19 in game 1. This game, the highest is Hallie 17. You know, 16, 15, 14. They had more scoring. Like, a lot of people scored, but like, somebody got to get 20, bro. Like, somebody got to get 20, 30. Especially in the NBA Finals to beat OKC, the MVP. You know, the best team in the league. They didn't have the best record, but they better than the best record team. They better than Cleveland. So, somebody got to do something for Indiana. It ain't going to look... Y'all not finna win. Score not getting 20, bro. I don't care what nobody says. But on the good side, they going back to Indiana. You know, Indiana not completely out of it. You know, they did what they supposed to do. They won 1 game in OKC. Now they got to go back to Indiana for game 3 and 4. Hopefully they can get it. They can get it cracking for the home team. You know, they did what they supposed to do. You know, they're not all the way out. I think more pressure is on OKC to win. Well, it's still the same amount of pressure. OKC gotta win 1 game in Indiana though, because if they don't, it's a wrap. Right now, Indy got home court advantage. They gonna have to figure it out. Hopefully, they cook and they need Halliburton, you know, or Siakam. Somebody gotta dominate. You know, somebody gotta dominate this team shit. Everybody getting 10, 11, and 12. Like, that ain't gonna work, bro. Y'all need to have somebody to get y'all a bucket. You know, Miles Turner was cooking in the third quarter, but y'all need somebody that's going to give y'all a bucket. You know, y'all need one of them players. That's the only way Indy is going to win. But let's get into the NFL. Packers release cornerback Jair Alexander. Chubb, the running back Chubb, expected to sign with the Texans. Aaron Rodgers signed with the Steelers, $13 million. Like I said, that's going to be crazy. You know, him and Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin ain't finna be going for that shit that Aaron Rodgers be pulling off in the media, not taking accountability and blaming other players and shit like that. So I want to see how that's going to go. We finna get into the WNBA. Courtney Vandersloot out for the season with an ACL tear. Hope she get better. Clark out with a quad. She could return next week. She been out for like the last week. She could return. You know, the ratings been down. The money been down. It's crazy how one player control that shit in the WNBA. We're going to get into some games. We had the Mystics go against Connecticut. Mystics won 104-67. Sykes had 28-6 for Connecticut. Charles had 17-9. We had Minnesota go against Dallas. Minnesota won 81-65. Nafisha Collier, looking like the MVP, had 28-10. McBride had 21 for Dallas. Enrique had 26, 6, and 5. You know, Paige been out with an illness, so Enrique just out there by herself. She's still putting up buckets, but bro, Nafisa Collier looking like the MVP so far. She been cooking, you know what I mean? She been cooking. So over the weekend, since the last time I seen y'all, that nigga Lil Wayne dropped the Carter 6. And all I see on the internet is, oh, that shit trash and this and this and this and that and all this other shit. Bro, I listened to it. And I thought the album was cool, you know what I mean? Is it the best Carter? Nah. You know, did it sound like the other Carters? Kinda. You know what I mean? Kinda. It was cool though, like, it ain't his worst album, bro. Like, that I'm Not a Human Being 2 or whatever the fuck, that shit was ass. You know, like, he had other shit that was ass, bro. This Carter, it has songs that I wasn't fucking with, like that Elephant song. I'm like what the fuck? That beat look like I made that. Like, when I heard that Elephant shit, bro, I was like, I can beat Lil Wayne rapping, bro. But, but look, dog, I kept bumping, bro. He got some slappers. I don't understand what everybody talking about. He got some fire on there. That Welcome to the Carter, that shit was fire. You know what I mean? Candy, that's a Candy song. That shit was fire. Hip Hop with Big X, that shit was fire. You know what I mean? I remember I didn't look at the playlist. I just played it. I didn't look at the time or none of that shit. How long the song was, I didn't look at none of that. And I heard a beat, King Carter, and I was listening to it. He didn't rap on it. It was just playing through. Bro, I heard it. I was like, oh shit, he about to kill this, because the beat was building, bro, and I was just like, oh shit, he about to kill this. And then he never went on. I was like, bro, the old Wayne would have destroyed that. But I mean, I thought it was a pretty decent album. You know, there were songs that I didn't fuck with, songs that I fucked with. You know what I mean? On blood, I fucked with that shit, bro. I ain't gonna even cap. But like, it was better than a lot of shit that's been coming out. Like, you know, all these niggas that be releasing the albums where every song sound the same. This shit was all over the place. Like, this shit was all over the place. Carter 6 was all over the place. But it was cool. I was fucking with it. You know, I was like, okay, it ain't the best, but it's I fuck with it. You know what I mean? I thought it was easier to listen to than Kendrick. You know what I mean? And I don't got no disrespect towards Kendrick. I fucked with the nigga, but like, that album, it wasn't all that, bro. It was just hype because he was beefing with Drake. Like, let's not cap. I don't think Lil Wayne should have performed at the Super Bowl, though. Like, I don't think he should have performed at the Super Bowl. I think Kendrick should have performed at the Super Bowl. But, like, I fucked with the Carter 6. Shout out to Wayne. Everybody that know me know that's my favorite rapper of all time. That's my GOAT. Yeah, I mean, that shit was cool, you know. But that's all we finna get into today. You know what I mean? Like, share, and subscribe. We out. Peace.